next video we're going to play, we told you people, is about injustice. Coup upon coup, coup upon coup. So listen now to see an example of the first video that we played, an example of how it happened in Nigeria. Pay attention, please. Thank you.
This edition of Back in History, we're discussing the trial and execution of Mamman Vatsa. It was on 23rd December 1985. It was in the middle of the night. Everywhere was quiet. A lot of people had gone to bed. But Mamman Vatsa, a soldier, an avid reader, a poet, a writer, was in his study at his residence at Roman Street, Ikoyi, Lagos State, Nigeria. His wife, an Efik woman who later took the name Sophia, was in her bedroom watching television. The children had all gone to bed. Mamman received a telephone call that Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida had sent for him. Mamman left the study and entered the bedroom to inform his wife. The wife protested that it was too late in the night and that Mamman should phone his boss to shift the meeting to the following morning. Unknown to Mamman and the wife, immediately the call was made to him to meet with IBB. A detachment of fully armed soldiers was deployed to move toward his residence. As the debate with his wife was going on, the soldiers arrived at his residence, led by Lieutenant Colonel UK Bello. Mamman Vatsa's residence was immediately surrounded with armored vehicles and military vans. A cloud of fear engulfed Vatsa and his wife Sophia. All was not well, and the signs were pretty obvious. Life was never going to be the same again. The soldiers came into the compound and instructed Mamman Vatsa to follow them. The exact destination was unknown to Mamman and the wife. The exact destination was also not disclosed to them. Sophia insisted that if the soldiers would take her husband away, then she had to follow them. Sophia was a good driver, and she insisted on driving Vatsa in her own Peugeot 404. Seeing that all was not well, and that he might not return home anytime soon, Mamman Vatsa insisted that the children should be woken from sleep to enable him hug and kiss them before embarking on the journey. The children were woken up and Mamman kissed them one after the other. Mamman would never have this opportunity again. The journey commenced with Lieutenant Colonel UK Bello leading the convoy. Sophia and Vatsa were driven in their vehicle, and at exactly 2 a.m., the convoy stopped at number 7 Cameroon Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. Vatsa was ordered out of the vehicle. Mamman Vatsa turned and gave his wife a hug that was to be the last forever. He told his wife to take care of the children. Sophia, the wife, returned home. Sophia later learned that her husband was implicated in a coup said to have been planned to overthrow then President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Mamman was later taken before a special military tribunal where he was tried alongside 16 other military officers for treason and in particular for plotting a coup to overthrow Babangida's regime. Mamman pleaded that he was innocent. The military tribunal was headed by Major General Charles Ndiomo and also was assisted by Commodore Murtala Nyako. Murtala Nyako later became the civilian governor of Adamawa State in Nigeria. The tribunal sat at the Brigade of Guard Headquarters, Lagos. Maman and the other persons were from there detained at Krikri Maximum Prison. While at Krikri Maximum Prison, Maman sent a note to his wife saying, "Sweetheart, do not beg my friend Babangida any further. Take care of the children. I know it is not easy, but God will help you." At the tribunal, Maman pleaded that he was innocent of the allegation, but the special tribunal pronounced him guilty as charged and sentenced him to death. While most people thought that Maman will not be executed by an administration headed by his bosom friend Ibrahim Babangida, others also reasoned that having been arrested, locked up, tried along with others, and eventually pronounced guilty, anything was possible. Indeed, everything was possible. Maman was to be executed by firing squad. Emissaries were sent to Babangida to no avail. Maman was a poet and a writer. He authored several poems and was very active in the literary community in Nigeria. His ordeal thus attracted three leading Nigerian literary icons, Chinua Achebe, John Pepper Clark, and Wole Soyinka, who went to the Don barracks to plead with Babangida for clemency. Minutes after leaving Dudan barracks, the news broke that Maman Vatsa and 16 others had been executed. Maman was executed on the 5th day of March 1986. When he was to be executed, Maman requested that his wristwatch and wedding ring be handed over to his wife Sophia as a constant reminder of his love for her. Completely shattered, Sophia Maman Vatsa, an Efik woman from Calabar Cross River State, moved her children from Lagos together with her belongings and returned to her husband's home in Kaduna State. She lived in penury and used to travel back to Calabar to get food items for the upkeep of the family. She also engaged in petty trading and farming. Sophia saw the children through schools. Haruna, the first son, graduated from the university and was employed in the government house where he served as protocol officer. Fatima studied medicine in London, while Jibril studied law. Aisha, the last born, is a US-based pilot. At the time of Maman's trial and execution, General Domkat Bali was the defense minister, and it was his responsibility to constitute the special military tribunal for the trial. It was also his responsibility to announce the execution of Vatsa and others to the world. In a later interview granted by Domkat Bali in 2006 to the News, a Nigerian newspaper, the retired General Domkat Bali stated on quote as follows: "My regret is that up till now, I am not sure whether Vatsa ought to have been killed, because whatever evidence they amassed against him was weak. But my only regret is that I could not say don't do it. I am not so sure whether we were right to have killed Maman Vatsa." The said interview was published in the 22nd May edition 2006 of the said newspaper. Sophia, who had always maintained that her husband did not plot any coup against Babangida, was highly elated when she read the interview granted by Domkat Bali. She however lamented that her husband's body was never released to her for funeral and closure. She wrote letters to then President Olusegun Obasanjo to open an investigation into the killing of her husband and to also prosecute Ibrahim Babangida. None of these was done by the Obasanjo administration, and it is not clear if it will ever be done by any other administration. Born in Bida in the then northern region of British Nigeria on 3rd December 1940, Mamman Vatsa was a high-ranking military officer in Nigeria. At the time of his execution, Mamman Vatsa was a major general. He was in the crop of early military cadets trained and commissioned into the officers' cadre for independent Nigeria. Mamman attended Government College Bida from 1957 to 1962, and upon completion of his studies, Mamman proceeded to the Nigerian Military Training College, Kaduna, in December 1962. At that time, the Nigerian Military Training College was yet to be accredited for the commissioning of young military cadets, and it was the practice for the Nigerian government to send young cadets to foreign military schools for completion of their studies. Mamman was sent to the Indian Military Academy, and upon completion of his studies, he was commissioned as second lieutenant.
All right, we'll post this video in its entirety on our Facebook page. You can see what these enemies, how they operate, right? They offer, turn myself off. They offer these people what is called political pacification, where they will, reward the family members, allow them to get a job, allow them to be part of the ruling parties, right? You wouldn't even know what the great harm that they cause is always present. If you guys recall the story of Kennedy, after he was assassinated, at a later time, they made the daughter an ambassador to some place. The same people, the same playbook, my dear. And it's only because you guys don't want to understand what's going on. A lot of us, let me not say you guys, a lot of us don't want to understand what's going on. It's the same hand, the same monkey hand, putting his hand everywhere he can, like a virus. Anything that they can infect, they infect. Anywhere they can infect it, they infect it. It's the same people doing the same thing. And that's why we need to end this colonial project. We are operating under a colonial project. So if not for anything, because I know a lot of you, I'm a Nigerian, and then Nigeria, this and this, but you are running a colonial enterprise. Can you please understand that much? That you're running a colonial enterprise that is against your people. That even if you want to be one, we should not employ the strategy that will serve all of us and net the benefits of our colonialists. It has to come to an end at some point. Yes. These people are the same people doing the same thing, running the same show. They never left. They only switch out with your brothers and people that look like you so that you won't know who is doing you.
Yes.
You will know who is doing you. As if it's not bad enough, they will remind you that you will go to hell if you don't do the right things. When they are doing more than the devil. This devil, where is this devil anyhow? We've seen more evil from those people telling us about devil than devil more himself. We have to be able to differentiate both.
So, because they removed the history. When they finished all the nonsense they did, they removed history from Nigeria so that the next generation will not know what happened. It's so painful and so pathetic. Now, we told you about the era of genocide and series of assassinations to protect colonial interest. Like my sister said, nothing is by chance. We just want you. And by the way, we thank those that are sending us these videos because it means our people are following. They are going by themselves to go and dig out these things and send them to us. Make comments. So we appreciate you. We are a team. We are working together. So we told you these people will create chaos, create fear, create mistrust among the ethnic nationalities. Meanwhile, they have caused injustice. So Igbo man will be blaming Yoruba man. Yoruba man will be blaming Igbo man. Then Igbo will be blaming Ijo. Ijo will be blaming Ishekiri. Divide and conquer. So whether it's Biafra children that were killed, or Igbo people that were killed, or innocent fathers, uncles, and brothers, one thing is common. with all these unjust killings. They will lie against the people who need to be killed and unjustly kill them before. If you're saying don't kill, then whether it's Sarawiwa, anybody, when you're saying don't kill, bam, they kill them because they have already marked them that this and this person needs to leave so that certain things will happen. So they will rope in something on them, lie against them. And like my sister said, go by the other side, compensate their children. If you check Abiola's children, you see the compensation. Kerewiwa, all of them, they will compensate so that they will not seek for justice. And even when they seek for justice, they will make sure they don't get it. Why? They were killed for wrong reasons. It's not what they told the people that is actually what happened. Go to history. You will understand. Now, why they do that is to maintain colonial lies. The misinformation, the disinformation, the colonial structures, the colonial systems. So if you are seeking for healing, if anybody is honest and sincere about seeking to, like, how do we heal Nigeria? My people say that Ezioku Bondo, truth is life. So we must start from the point of truth. Because if you don't go to truth, you will not know that you have committed injustice against anybody, and then they will need retribution. Retribution we are talking is not the 10,000 trillion Ahaneze is asking for their brothers and their sisters and their wives and their children. That's not what we're saying. So in other words, we need to redress the situation. The injustice is still going on. It's ongoing. What is standing on our way? Somebody will ask. Why can't we address this injustice? 1999 Unitary Constitution forbids you from looking into the annals of the atrocities committed against the people. They finished destroying our people. Babangida, class of 66, or Obasanjo, Buhari, all of them, they finished and then imposed a constitution, a unitary constitution that only them can manipulate, and an illegitimate constitution, so that one, you have rights to look into what happened to you. Two, you cannot bring them to book. So
okay, she's coming. Yes, you cannot bring them to book, but I guess you can buy their books, because that's what they do. They
exactly.
And they will sell us their books.
They sell the book and you publish it, and then you come and launch it for 20 trillion billion. But the blood of the innocent continues to cry out for justice. That's one thing people don't understand about the blood. Whether Biafran children that were starved to death to save colonial Nigeria, whether innocent fathers, uncles, and brothers that were unjustly tried and executed to maintain colonial Nigeria and their colonial structures, the blood of the innocent will continue to cry for justice. You see how our children are roaming everywhere all over the world like vagabonds, losing their identity just so that Nigeria can remain one under colonial unitary constitution. Africa is bleeding. Indigenous peoples of Africa have to die so that Europe, America, Asia can get raw materials for their industries. We cry for justice. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.